Hi, stat students. I wanted to show you a few different ways on how you can launch StatCrunch depending on where you are in the MyLabs Plus program. So the first way you can open or launch it is from a homework or quiz or exam question, from the question itself. You can click on these two little boxes. If you have any kind of data, you can click on that and it will say open in StatCrunch as an option. And when you do that, notice it will preload it into a StatCrunch spreadsheet. And then at that point, you can do whatever calculation you're being asked for. Perhaps you're being asked to find the mean of that data. You can do that, and there it is. Okay, so that is one way you can launch StatCrunch from a homework question. Maybe there isn't actual data that needs to be loaded, but maybe it's a question that just requires other commands in StatCrunch in order to answer. That you can go under the question help, and StatCrunch should be an option for any problem that could possibly require StatCrunch. Notice it just opens up a blank worksheet. And then under here, I could do different things if I wanted to use the normal calculator, and I could type in my own mean and standard deviation and find a probability. You may not know what that means yet, but anyway, you can just launch a blank spreadsheet and do calculations as well, things that don't require preloaded data from that question help area. Now, the other way you can launch it is by using the StatCrunch tab right here. And under here, there are two options. Almost always, we will just go to the StatCrunch website. And once you get here, you can say open StatCrunch, and it gets you to the same spot. I recommend doing this in one tab before you take any exam. I recommend opening StatCrunch like this, launching it, making sure that it actually comes up on your screen. And then you can keep that in a tab while you go back then and open up your exam. So that's an okay, StatCrunch is inside of MyLabs Plus, and it's an okay like secondary tab to have open on your screen. It's also a good way to just double check to make sure that link between StatCrunch and MyLabs Plus is working before you get into an exam. You get into an exam and you go to one of those questions and you try to load data there, and you realize at that point that the connection's broken and that it's not opening. That's not good. So as long as you can get it opened in that main tab, you know that the connection is established and that you should be able to open any links in any questions. So that is another way you might use StatCrunch. The other way you will maybe have to use it a few times in the course, I know we do it in the notes a couple times, is you may need to open a data set from the textbook. So if I tell you to open a data set from the textbook, this is where you go. You go to that main tab and choose that. And then you basically find the number. So I might say it's in chapter 4, homework problem number 48 or something like that. And it will load whatever data is in that homework problem that maybe we're working on either in the notes or in an essay question, and you can do what you need to with it there. So that is also under that main StatCrunch area. Now, the last thing I want to show you how to do whenever you are in StatCrunch is in a lot of our essay questions later on in the semester, I will tell you to open a data set that I have saved for you. The way that you do that is you go to Data, Load, and you're going to load it from Shared. Now, all of my data, I start with my name and something like, I'm trying to think of one, I think shoe sizes maybe is one. I'm trying to think of names. No, apparently that is not one. But I will share with you the title of what to search for, and when you search for it there, it should come up. I just can't think off the top of my head right now of something that it's called. I think past student data is one. There it is. Okay. So I've saved some past student data. You can see it's from 2018. And if I ask you to open that up, you can. And you can see all of the data that I have about some past students of mine, and you could work on it then. You will have those steps in your StatCrunch commands, and I will also give them to you in the question itself. I will say go to data, load, do this or that, but that now you've seen me run through it. So I just wanted to give you a little run through of all the different ways to access StatCrunch. So you can find it through the little rectangles next to data in your homework, under the question help area, or on the main side tab over here.